To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Shawn Whittington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church, and I'm coming to you live from my haunted house, my very haunted house, where I live. I have a great guest tonight. I love her. I respect her. I think she's just the coolest. And I know that's why you all tuned in because you feel the same way. She's in the green room. I'm going to bring her out ASAP. But thank you also very much for taking an hour out of your busy Monday evening to spend with me and my guest. And let's check the prayer urn. Betty T from Nevada, my home state. Are you in Vegas, Betty? Let me know. Church going has never been quite the same since the pandemic. I hear you. It's getting better, but could you pray for a big comeback to the church? I don't think I've ever had a request like that, Betty. That is a beautiful request, and I most certainly will. You know what? And I know exactly what it is. And I'm going to say a prayer for the church is going to be my intention. But you know why it's like that? It's called lack of unity. The pandemic did a number on unity on all of us for many, many reasons. But if we can get the unity back, that will help us. But that is a beautiful request. Okay. Name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, your blessed Son asks that his church be one as you and he are one. But Christians have not been united as he prayed. We have isolated ourselves from each other and failed to listen to each other. We have misunderstood and ridiculed and even gone so far as to attack each other. In so doing, we have offended against you, against all our brothers and sisters in the church, and against all who have not believed in you because of your scandalous disunity, our scandalous disunity. Forgive us, Father, and make us fully one. Blot out our sins, renew our minds, enkindle our hearts, and guide us by your Holy Spirit into that oneness which is your soul. Amen. Okay. Thank you so much, Betty. Betty, get back to me later. Let me know if you're here in Vegas. The Paranormal Ministry mailbag. Cheryl P. from Virginia. Is it okay to just leave spirits alone and let them do their thing if they're in your home, but not bothering you? Another great, you know what? That's not only a great question, Cheryl, but I was just addressing that very thing. I believe it was with Friday's guest. And this is also a great question I'm going to leave out and talk to my guest tonight about. It's right up her alley. But in a nutshell, I believe I'm guilty of it. My house is haunted. And as long as they are not bothering my animals, bothering my wife, or bothering me, or, you know, turn into something of a malevolent nature, I tend to just kind of not rock the boat and let things lie. But I'm learning more and more now that you need to just continue to pray for them. If you address them and talk to them now, you're almost in a way giving them permission to be here, and you're encouraging the haunt, and you're also, in a sense, contributing to the conjuring, which I don't do anymore. So I'm learning now more that if you see spirits around, they need to go where they belong. And that's not here. They're of the ages now. They're of the other realm. So you need to just pray for them. That they need to, the angels need to come down and grab them and take them to where they need to be. But I'm guilty of doing the absolute opposite. So don't listen to me. God bless you for the question. I am going to ask my guest that tonight. Guys, if there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone or Yeah, -con.biz, the ministry. That's my wife and I's website. If you go there to visit, remember we don't charge for our ministry work helping people with their paranormal issues. So, brothers and sisters, trust me, I know it's tough. Things are tough out there, but if you're able to do so and you see the donate button, click on it and send our ministry in a small donation. I promise you, it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And trust me, we'll put it to good use. I'm also a certified spiritual advisor. So, if you're having issues of a spiritual nature, not attached to the paranormal, and you'd like to speak to me, there's a place where you can make an appointment with me on the website. But don't leave the website without navigating over to the page called the WSE course/book. On that page, you'll find the Ghost Store. A lot of cool things to buy, and all the proceeds go to charities that I support. But look at some of the things in there. You might find something really cool, especially with Christmas coming up. A Christmas gift for somebody, a stocking stuffer. But scroll through the Ghost Store, and you'll run into my new haunted autobiography, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. And I quote, scariest book I ever published. That was Annette Munich, owner of Stellium Books, my publisher. But don't let that scare you off of purchasing a copy. If you haven't done your good deed for the day yet, part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my book goes to support stjude.org, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital in Nevada, and the ASPCA. So you get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. How cool is that? You can get the book a little less expensive on Amazon. If you buy it off of the website, it leaves my office here. And it comes autographed and enclosed in a beautiful house blessing kit. So that's pretty cool. And my book's rumored to be haunted. There's a picture in that book of an entity that I caught at an abandoned location, a historical site out in the middle of the Mojave Desert. And since my wife and I encountered this entity, we have seen it a time or two here in the house. But there's a picture of it in the book, and people that have gotten the book from me, some people, say that once they purchase the book from me, the one that comes autographed from my office, that they've seen that entity in their house. It's not malevolent, but I find that amazing. So if you are one of those people that have purchased the book from me, not from Amazon, but from me, and you've encountered that paranormal issue or any paranormal issues attached to the book, reach out to me and tell me your story. I am writing these stories down and planning to do something with them, and who knows where your story may end up. So reach out to me and let me know. Great time to purchase the book too, because and get all caught up, because God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry 2, Chronicles of an American Exorcist, comes out anytime now. So that would be a great time to get caught up. Scroll a little further down on that page, you'll see the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, which I am a founding member. I offer a 12-week online college level course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, through the WSE. And this is the course for all you true warriors for Christ out there that feel a calling and a longing to want to have more knowledge when it comes to drawing your line in the sand, circling the wagons, making a stand, and putting up a good fight against, God forbid, true evil if it ever comes calling for you. This is the course for you. No, it doesn't teach you how to be an exorcist. That's a completely different animal and another type of calling. But this is exactly what it says. It's Introduction to Spiritual Warfare through my eyes and through my experiences. And there is not another course like it out there for you to take. So you can enroll in the course there at the website. If you want more information about the course before making that type of commitment, there's a Worldwide Society of Exorcists Facebook page. Or you can just call me and talk to me about the course. See if it's right for you. All of my students that graduate get a stunning diploma, certificate of completion suited for framing, along with some other very blessed special items that you can only get from yours truly. So most importantly, please keep all of my former, current, and future students in your prayers. And I'm taking open enrollment now for the fall class. My classes now are limited to a certain number of students. So if you've ever been interested in taking a course like that, now's the time with open enrollment for the fall class. Okay, the moment of truth, why you all tuned in. Like I mentioned before, I love her. I respect her. I know no one like her. She's a friend. She's a colleague. And I want you all to please welcome to the show the one and only Bishop Rita Strugala.
Hey,
What are you doing?
just hanging around. What you doing?
The same. Okay, listen, let's go. Okay, in the green room when we first clicked on, you said you were mad at me. Do you
Yes.
want to? Do you want to talk about this after the show, or do you want to talk about it now?
Oh, he was just rude to me online. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh no, I
Yes.
was.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk about it after the show. I don't. You know what? You're not the first person that accuses me of having a bad sense of humor, joking when I should be serious. A lot of people don't get my sense of humor, and sometimes uh, I do that, and I don't know why. I have people that love me, know me all my life, that will say that very same thing to me, and I don't have a clue. And so I have to. So I would be interested, and really, I want to have a talk with you about that because I hate someone like you that I love as much as I love you. I would hate to feel like I was rude to you online. So let's talk about that after the show. What else do I want to say to you? Um, I was joking with a friend of mine who's from Romania. He just the other day goes, "Who's on your show Monday?" I go, "Bishop Rita." He goes, "Bishop Rita," and he's one of my inner circle brothers in Christ. So I've already let him in on the big secret. And he goes, "Oh, isn't she one of your colleagues that worked with you on that project?" I said, "Absolutely. She's very cool." I said, "You know what? You being from Romania, you'll get this. There's a rumor that when the moon is full, she turns into a strugala." He gives me this really weird look. He goes, "Do you mean Strigoi?" I go, "Yeah, but her last name's Strugala. Isn't that funny?" He goes, "Why would she turn into a vampire in the full moon?" So I go, "I'm here the whole time. I'm thinking Strigoi is like a werewolf." He goes, "No, the Strigoi is like a vampire." I'm okay. Forget it. Bad. So anyway, but that leads me to a good question. When I said that to him, he goes, "But you know what? That topic is right up your two alleys because in my country where I'm from, they do believe in the Strigoi, but it turned into a vampire type thing over a long period of time. But originally, the Strigoi was like evil spirits that were believed to come out of graveyards.
Ah.
They take form. They can be invisible, but they usually take hideous forms. But the legend has it that they do live off of the blood of their victims. Their victims can be animals or humans,
Hmm.
but that they're evil, and they even believe that Strigoi can possess people. So let's address the elephant in the room, both demonic entities and spirits. Let's
Mhm.
talk about, let's say, before we talk about the evil ones, let's talk about just spirits in general. Now I have friends who are Hindus and Buddhists, and they get into that deity yoga. I don't judge. Live and let live. It's their heritage, their upbringing. But in this deity yoga, for instance, they channel and they invite the spirits of the
Mhm.
dead to come through them, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then I have many friends that are extremely gifted and talented trance mediums who do the same thing.
Mhm.
Many of them have had these particular spirit guides with them for many, many years, and they trust them and they let them come through. But many just channel whichever spirits are floating around and want to come through and say something. So I'm going to throw it at you, your take on if spirits, just disembodied human spirits, have the ability in one way or another to possess. And then we'll go into the more malevolent stuff.
Wow, that's a big one. Um, Whether they have the power to possess, and you're talking about human spirits, correct?
Correct.
Um, I don't think they can actually possess. I think that they can be every bit as obnoxious and mean and rude as like a demonic. They don't have the strength, but they can certainly mimic a demonic real easy. Sometimes it's not easy to tell which it is. Um, but as for regular spirits, I don't think that they can actually possess. Um, I know they can attach. Um, I I don't know. That's a really hard one for me. I'm not sure. I'm kind of on the fence with that one.
I am too, and I'll tell you why. I have, like you and I both, in addition to what we do now, our
Hmm.
calling,
Yeah.
we've had years of experience paranormal investigating,
Yeah.
and I have, it's almost like when a person says, "Okay, guys, I feel like I just walked into a meat locker, and I'm chilled to the bone. I've got the chicken skin, the hairs are standing up. I
Yeah.
can smell the cigar or smell the perfume, and I feel like I'm being touched, and nobody else in the room feels it." And everybody immediately assumes, well, this spirit is trying to communicate with you, and I believe to a certain degree that's true. But I think there's times where that spirit is trying to. I'm going to steal a term a friend of mine coined, jump in there, even if
Hmm.
it's just for a few moments.
Yes.
And you see some of these people in these investigations go into like these trances and get all weirded out where they may talk a little different or even behave a little different for a few moments. And it's not demonic, but these spirits are jumping in and out of people, and I find that alarming. And I don't have a clue as to what causes that, but I think, and I could be totally off base here, I think sometimes people that go on these ghost hunters and ghostbusters, you
Hmm.
have to be relatively of strong mind and body. If you are a
Absolutely.
weak-minded person,
Hmm.
and you go, and also even if you're not weak-minded, you go into these haunted situations troubled. Let's say you've got a bad cold and your immune
Right.
system is down,
You're
or
compromised.
yeah, you're comp. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful way to put it.
Mhm.
These people go into these situations compromised,
Yep.
and issues happen,
Absolutely. Yeah.
especially if the demonic are present. And I know you've seen that many times in your career.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Well, as we're talking about possession, I was stalking you this past week on your Facebook page for stuff that maybe we could talk about, and I
Mhm.
realized I need to come over and exorcise the broken toe demon out of your house. Um,
I wish you would.
that demon seems to be, hanging around, and when you least expect it, he's after your toes for some reason.
Oh
So,
man.
Cheryl P from Virginia wants to know if it's okay to leave spirits alone in their house if you live in a haunted house, if they're not bothering anyone. And I'm guilty of doing that. But now, as time goes on, um, I'm doing, I'm being told by a lot of colleagues in our field that most of the times these maybe aren't purgatory spirits, but they're troubled spirits that for whatever reason haven't crossed over, and you need to just pray for them. And I stopped conjuring a long time ago, conducting EVP sessions and
Mhm.
calling out to spirits and addressing them. So I'm doing a lot more praying, and it has helped. Things have gotten considerably a lot quieter here. But talk to me about that question my viewer sent in about that and how you feel about that.
My concern with leaving that alone is having dealt with the demonic as much as we have over the years. I know that a lot of times they will lay low, they will lay dormant, they will pretend to be very benign spirits, and that can take years. And then all of a sudden things will start ramping up. Um, I just think that if they don't have unfinished business, if they're just hanging around, they need to go to the light. And if you can provide that light for them to go, it's best for them and it's best for you. It's a lot healthier. There's I've seen different things where people will actually get sick and stuff like that, and it's for some reason it's due to an ailment, or it's due to people that are like empathic. A lot of times they will pick up on what the spirit went through it during their lifetime, and now all of a sudden you're being sick all the time too, because they're trying to communicate with you. um, and not everybody has the gift or know how to communicate you don't want to do exactly what you said. You don't want to do, you don't want to keep doing EVP sessions, ghost box things, all that kind of stuff. Because basically, all that's doing is opening a portal. And then you're going to have more to deal with than just whoever's hanging around the house. It could be that that person that's hanging around the house is actually attached to the house itself, to the land, or to an object that you brought into the house. If sometimes it can be a residual haunt kind of thing, where as you see, the same pattern going over and over again with these things. If you're someone that sages your house to cleanse it out, I would definitely recommend doing that. It does tend to get rid of the residual energy that's in there and free that up and take those place marks out of the atmosphere of your home. um, I just think it's healthier for everybody if you let them go, ask them to go. You don't have to be mean about it or anything, but it's there's a reason why they're sticking around. Usually it's because they're attached to something. Sage can also take that attachment off of whatever it is that they're attached to, if you know what it is. But you can also ask Saint Michael to come and to take them to the light if you can't provide it yourself or don't know how. If you do know how, just simply give them the light so that they can go home to their loved ones.
Beautifully said. Absolutely beautifully said. Um, there's a rumor been going around for a long time that even your most harmless, well-intentioned, disembodied human spirits, they don't know that everybody sometimes slaps the tag on them, energy vampires.
Yeah,
They don't even realize they're doing it. I believe, like you
right.
said, in the process of them trying to communicate with you, always being on you and around you, it just zaps your energy.
Yes.
And then that's why people get ill, because here we go. They get compromised. Their immune systems get, um,
Wiped out.
yeah. What do you feel on that rumor that's been going around forever, that if you do happen to allow these disembodied human spirits to hang around, even if they don't mean to cause harm, that after a while, not crossing over and just being in these places and haunting them over years and years and years, that they develop into being something of a malevolent type of nature?
I don't know about that. I don't believe. I mean, there if it is that type of a spirit to begin with, they will try to act like they're no big business, like it's okay, I'm cool, I'll just hang around your house. And then over time, as you get to trust them and you talk to them and you act like they're one of the family, that's when they start growing into what they really are. But there are spirits that are just for whatever reason don't want to go on. But for them and for you, the best thing for them to do is to move on. It's not healthy for them either. I mean, they've got loved ones too that are waiting for them, and for whatever reason, sometimes they don't even know they're dead. Um, so it's just best to let them go. And being on the physical plane as we are, as you said, it can make us tired. It can drain us. It can make you feel sick. It can make you feel what they felt. And you may not even know why you're feeling it. I don't know why I feel so bad all the time. Well, they're trying to communicate. They're trying to get it through to you. And even if they do, though, you're not going to be able to take that away from them. They need to go to the light and to go on. I mean, there's, in my opinion, there is a lot more on the other side for all of us once we get there. And for them just sticking around for years and years and years or whatever, it's counterproductive. They've got loved ones too that would love to have them home. Maybe they're just misguided. Sometimes you can, if you know somebody that's a medium, or if you are a medium, just tell them that you want nothing but the best for them, and that you want them to go to the light. And if you can project that for them, and try to gently push them in the right direction, it's going to be best for the physical people that are here now, as well as the spiritual people that are on the other side that are either stuck or don't understand what's happening to them.
Absolutely. You and I are both clergy of Catholic denomination,
Yeah.
clergy, different branches, but
Hmm.
Catholics. Um, I've always been the kind of guy that if I believe I'm in over my head in a situation, I will search out the advice from somebody that I knows that's been doing what we do a lot
Yeah.
longer than me and
Yes.
has way more experience. Uh, and there's been a couple of times in my career that I have been, I hate to use the word warned, I've been advised
Hmm.
to pass on a couple of cases. One I remember it was a case. I always just a matter of factly throw out the term Muslim. I'm not 100% sure if this gentleman was Muslim, but
Hmm.
he was not from here,
Right.
and he talked about his wife having um, an affection for not only antiques but lamps.
Oh.
And he started talking to me about he believed his wife was possessed by a jinn. And I go, well, how do you believe she got possessed? He said she brought this lamp home, and it was just like, the genie in the lamp type of thing. She was cleaning it one night, and she totally changed. And I just assumed he had a church. I go, well, have you been to your church to ask for help? He goes, yes, and nobody there was willing to help. That's why I came to you. So not having any experience with jinns,
Right.
I reached out to some people in our field that have been doing this way longer than me, and I was actually advised to pass on that case and then pass it on to somebody who I thought could help. And then there was another time where a gentleman, he didn't own the Dybbuk box, and I don't even remember now. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure what religious belief system he personally had in place, but he went
Hmm.
to a place where he came in contact with a Dybbuk box.
Hmm.
He didn't own it, he didn't take it home, but ever since he came in contact with it, his life was turned upside down. I mean, he was deathly ill all the time with illnesses that they couldn't even figure out what was going on with him, in and out of the hospital, losing money, losing his job, losing his girlfriend, just one thing after another. And before I jumped into that, I reached out for help, and I ended up reaching out to a rabbi
Hmm.
because I do know enough to know that that's basically Jewish, the Dybbuk. Um, and he advised me to pass on the case. He said even himself, and he has experience as an exorcist. And a lot of people go, Jewish exorcist? Yeah, you and I both met one in
All
person.
cultures.
Um,
Yeah.
I didn't know until I, talked to this gentleman that they were, but he recommended that I pass on it, that he himself probably would pass on it. So let's talk about some of these old, ancient, evil spirits that perhaps never inhabited a human body that are just pure evil and they have no fear of God. So you talk about religious provocation. You don't even have to worry about that. Just probably just these clients picking up the phone and calling you or I is provocation enough because
Hmm.
then things were happening. Just getting these phone calls from these people, things were happening here in my house. What do you think about running into things that maybe you might should ought to pass on it?
Well, I'm just kind of stupid that way. If somebody comes to me wanting help, I'm going to do what I can to help them. Um, I will tell them up front I've not dealt with this if it's something I haven't dealt with, or whatever. But all I can do is I can see the anxiety on these people's faces, hearing what it's done to them, and I know you like me, Shawn. That self righteous anger of these things that think that it's okay to have dominion over our bodies and our lives, that they don't. um Never, I never claimed to be the smartest crayon in the box. But you know people need help. Where are they going to go? If this person that who is familiar with this, has dealt with it, knows what it's about, if they're not willing to tackle it, who will? What are you going to do? I mean, are they now regulated for the rest of their lives to living with this, however, long it might be? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just that person that I just my heart just goes out, and I will do what I can to help. Probably get hurt in the process. It's happened before. But I've got to try.
Yeah. I'm like that. I'm the same way. Well, I did pass on both of these, but I made the two people that were in that were had way more experience than me. I
Yeah.
made them promise that they would look into the cases for me. So at least I passed
Try.
the torch,
Yes.
so to speak, on to
Yeah.
somebody that thought I would help. And I think, you know, what also kind of made me lean that way was the fact that I had just spoke to these people on the phone and I was already getting issues here at the house. And then I have,
Yeah.
I still am shell shocked and got PTSD from, my wife surviving her demonic attack.
Yeah.
Um, and so I had to worry about that. But what was happening here in the house was unlike anything. About 48 hours before I get a phone call and it's a case of probably something malevolent, I already have issues happening in their house here. And so I know, I said, oh,
It happens to me too.
yeah. I tell the wife I'm up 24 hours or 48 hours away from another case coming this way because I could
Exactly.
just. But there was these. What was happening in the house when I got these phone calls was way different. So
Yeah.
I gracefully bowed out and passed these cases.
Now I would have done that too. I will try to find somebody that knows more about it than I do, especially if it's like one of those on the fringe kind of things that I've not really dealt with. I know about it, I've read about it kind of thing, but I've never really tried to do anything with that. I will do exactly what you did. I would try to find somebody that has a heck of a lot more knowledge about it than I do. I'm not about to tell anybody that I know everything about everything out there. There's no way, no way. But I will try to help the best I can.
I am going through this phase right now where I feel like I know nothing. The longer I'm
Yeah.
in this field, the more I feel the less I know. And
Yep.
especially since, come on, here I am, a baptized Catholic, confirmed in the Catholic religion, been Catholic all my life. And then I go into the seminary. I know many of my friends like, who goes into the seminary at 63? I just turned 63.
A lot of people.
And well, I going into it, I am like in a good way,
Yeah.
but I am amazed at how much I know now that I didn't know.
Yes.
And it's
Always
not,
learning.
oh my gosh. So that's really been an eye opening uh, revelation for me. And so now
Yeah.
if somebody that's been doing this a lot longer than us tells me, let me look into it for you, I think you ought to probably back off of this one. I do that now. But I want to address the other elephant in the room now. You're the last colleague, close friend that worked with me on this project, which is a big secret.
Yeah.
And I booked you all this. You're the last one to appear on the show this month. I booked you all
Yeah.
because earlier this year we were told October, November of this year the
Yeah.
big secret would be out, and so I wanted to have you all on the show and talk about it. Um, but that didn't happen. We all got that
Email.
uh, mass email from the director that it was going to be the premiere postponed to October of 2023. Which I am the kind of guy now that in God's time, if it be His holy will, there's a reason why, and I know it's going to be a good reason why it's postponed till October of next year. But and you know me, I cry over everything, so you got to be careful what you say to me because I'll cry. But you had said in your message, "Oh my gosh, is my mother even going to be around still to see me on the?"
Yeah.
And
Truly.
so instantly when I saw that, I almost started crying, and I instantly started added her to the prayer list. And
Thank you.
yes, she'll be here to watch our finished project. But I want everybody to know that's how you and I met, was on
Yep.
this project. And I just want to say this: um, life changing, once in a lifetime situation.
Yep.
I met the most incredible people involved in putting the project together and people that worked the project and my
Yes.
colleagues, my new colleagues, my new friends and brothers and sisters in Christ. Um, I I just want to say you were a total, complete bright light and wonderful, one of the bright lights and wonderful things and memories for me from that situation. And I am so proud of you for the work you did on that project. And just as a taking myself out of the situation and not being someone that's involved, I can't wait as just a regular person to watch you when the project does come out because you did a phenomenal job. And regardless of how it's perceived, I know we all literally put our blood, sweat, and tears into it,
Good.
and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
So whatever you feel you can say or add to that without naming network, production company, or name of show, um, go ahead. You have the floor.
it it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and like you, I mean, I was very disappointed because I really, there's people that want to know why I haven't been around, why I haven't, why haven't you been doing this? Why haven't you been doing that? I was off Facebook for a long time, and there's just a lot to it, and so I thought, like you, that finally we were going to get to actually see the whole thing come together, and we're still waiting. so so anyway, it was. I feel absolutely blessed to have been able to work with all of you to this day. I mean, for us, all five of us, to be able to, you know, ping ideas off of one another when we've got something going on or whatever is absolutely, to me, priceless. Trying to find somebody else that knew what the heck I was talking about if I had an issue, um, good luck. There's so few of us. And then those that do, a lot of times are people that are on television or whatever. They're not around, and or they're, they've got a lot of fans and whatnot, so they don't really answer right back or anything. They don't know you from Adam's house cat, so why would they? So just being able to have, and like you said, the people that we worked with that actually put this all together, this project, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I could not have asked for better people to work with because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about how any of this stuff worked. And what an absolutely positive experience it was. I mean, all the way around, just positive. And then having five people that I met that do what I do, that knows what I'm talking about, doesn't think I'm an idiot because what the hell is she talking about, kind of thing. Um, that to me is absolutely priceless, to actually have somebody to talk to that knows what you're talking about and can give some insight. You've My gosh, man, I don't know about you, but when I listened to everybody else up there relaying what they've been through, I was just absolutely amazed. I'm like, there's so much that I have not run into, and I am so glad, because if I ran into what you ran into, Shawn, I don't know that I'd still be doing this kind of thing. It was phenomenal. The stories.
Yes, I don't watch shows,
I don't either.
but of the shows that I've watched and what I've uh, been told by other people in this field that I've shared this with, I have never me personally I've never seen anything like this um, done before, and so I think it's going to be just awesome. And yeah, I get so many pictures. People that were involved in the project send me pictures all the time from the project, and so many times I don't know if the picture's being taken at me, but so many times I'm like this, and it reminded me so much during that time while we were on that project. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it and be just some weirdo, but I was in prayer a lot
Yeah.
while we were doing that because, short of naming names
Right.
that we normally don't just throw out there in the cosmos for conjuring purposes and trying to not give these things any extra power or leverage.
Right.
Um, I was afraid that these, the types of stories that we were all sharing and the reenactments and stuff, I thought, and already having issues in the hotel room, and you had that too.
Yes.
I was in a lot of prayer, and uh, besides the fact that Rich and Scott the other day gave me a hard time about
Did they?
sleeping, sleeping during the show. Hey, it is what it is. I'm an old guy. I don't travel well. The hotel was beautiful, but I don't travel well, and I didn't sleep well in the hotel. And come on, the first time we went to LA, we was like a 2 week shoot condensed into like
6.
4 days, I believe
Yeah,
it
4
was.
days.
And then
Yes.
the second time we went, it was 2 weeks condensed into like 3 days. We
Yeah.
were there in position where we were supposed to be when we started working from
Yeah.
like 7 in the morning to 7 at night. But we had to
Absolutely.
be there about an hour before for whatever they need to do to us to get us ready. So that's
And I don't know
6
about you, but
a.m.
I have insomnia anyway. And so I'm trying to get to sleep. I'm getting to sleep about an hour before I have to get up. you know?
Yeah, and then we wouldn't even get back to our hotel till about 8:30.
Yeah.
So those were long, long days, and
Very long.
I'll never know, but I wonder how many times they caught me on
Yeah.
sleeping that they just had to go. Oh, we got to edit that out, or maybe they left it in. Who knows? And
I think that's why they were doing the different pictures of all of us. It's like, so if this one's like me,
oh
I
my
would get in
god,
these. I would look at you or look at Scott and start laughing, and I couldn't stop. And Brian, God bless him, he's like, okay, settle down, settle down.
yeah, yeah,
That
near the
just
end
makes me
there,
do it
near the
even
end of
more.
days, I had to just not look at anybody because I know for some reason you guys look at me and laugh. I know I got that Danny DeVito thing going on, but I would just do this so I didn't have to anybody could see my face and I didn't have to make anybody laugh anymore. But I love you. You know I love you and respect you, and I just can't wait. Before you know it, October of next year will be here, and the big secret will be out. And like I said, I can't wait to just sit back in the living room with my wife and watch you and watch everybody else. And now we've mentioned Scott,
Yes.
and you mentioned, people, you now have met these people like me and the other people
Yep.
that you can reach out to, and we all feel the same way as you do. And Scott reached out to us recently
Yeah.
with a case,
Yep.
a very interesting case, but um, I don't. I will somewhere along the line in my seminary studies get into demonology, way deeper than what I've already been in.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never one to use names, even if I suspected a particular something that I was up against. I suspected what it was. I still never used names, and so like I hear the term. Um, I think it was Father Rippinger. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Coined the phrase bombing. I mean, you can carpet bomb demons and say the demon of violence or the demon of lust or the demon of pornography or the demon of
Mm-hmm.
violence or drug addiction, or you can carpet
Yeah.
bomb if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
um and you had mentioned a name on in the text message, which I thought was interesting, but then the part about the sores and all that, the demon of the sores, um pretty scary stuff. I haven't seen Scott send another text message back, but let's talk about. Um, might as well talk about throwing out what should people. First of all, let's talk about. I want to do a little Q&A with you. How's that? Do you believe in ghosts?
Absolutely.
What do you think a ghost is?
A human spirit.
What do you believe in angels?
Absolutely.
How about guardian angels?
Yes.
How much importance do you um, put on guardian angels and people being aware of them and praying to them?
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
How important do you think that is in somebody's life to acknowledge the existence of their guardian angel and pray to them often because they 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 are they are assigned to you?
Okay. I personally, I mean, I don't I don't really put out there for people to pray to their angels or whatever like that. I just talk to mine. Like there's right here, they've saved me so many times. I can't even begin to tell you. Um, I know who it is, and you know, I don't, I wouldn't call it praying. I just talk to them. I know that my grandmother is my guardian angel. She's my guardian. I talk to her all the time. Um, like I said, she has saved me out of some of the worst. I almost got hit by an 18 wheeler as it was barreling through an intersection as my light turned green. And I started to go, just barely putting my foot on the gas. And all of a sudden, my phone came up in the car and flipped and went on the floor. And my instinct was to grab it. So I stopped and I grabbed it just in time to see it go barreling through. I would have been dead. I would have absolutely been dead. And I know that's why she did it. Um, I'm so thankful for everything that she does. The information that I need and stuff like that that I get from her, it's invaluable to me. Um, when I was helping Scott with what I was getting, that's one of the guides that I contact um, to find out what's going on, what exactly is it they were dealing with, and that. And you know, I also feel like because he had that information, is it knew that he knew, and it started to try to make him back off. So it's there's pros and cons to it, but for me, that's I know who it is. I can feel the energy. I can feel the difference between negative energy and positive energy. So I know if I'm talking to the good or the bad or the ugly. um, I wouldn't. It's just I guess to me it's to each their own. I personally would say, if you want to pray, please pray to God, pray to Jesus. They're the ones that are going to save you. They're the ones that are going to help you out, but they're also the ones that have their angels look over you and help you. They're assigned to you to help you. If you need help, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with asking, your guide to help you find something you lost, help you, whatever it is you need. If they can do it, they will, and they'll help you. Um, I just feel like that's an extension of one of the gifts that God gives us are these angels to watch over us, to protect us.
I love the fact I know you're also gifted. Um, your gift of discernment is off the charts, and I love the fact that you're open about that. Many in our field are gifted, and they're not so open about it. They keep it under wraps a little bit. I try to be as open as possible. I'm not that gifted, but I'm gifted enough to see things. And the last thing I'll throw out about the project, and if I don't shut up, I'm gonna get us in trouble. We were in a 200-year-old Catholic church, uh, uh, nuzzled in the hills of an old neighborhood on a little hill. Um, so there was a lot of angelic spirits in that place.
Yeah,
But on the topic of guardian angels, um, I saw I saw people in that church around us that no one else was seeing. I don't know if you saw any of them too, but that I instantly picked up on because I was worried about our protection, and I
yeah,
know that the uh, producers and director didn't want me walking around with all that equipment, spraying holy water everywhere. But we did a lot of protection prayers before and after each
yeah,
day. But I when I saw these angelic beings around, I knew that we were okay. But I really felt that some of them were attached to individuals
Yeah.
um, on the in the group, and
Yeah.
thought that that was cool. I mean, our guardian angels were there, which I thought was very cool. In the short time I have left with you, don't forget I'm calling you after the show. I want you to tell me why how I made you mad. I am. My heart is hurting right now about that because I love you so much. Um, in the short time we have left, let's talk about that demons and the devil are very real and what people need to do to make sure they don't come a calling.
Okay. First of all, I would, I'd say protect yourselves. I do every morning. I get up and I put on the full armor of God. That is a big thing for me and for anybody that needs protection. I would suggest you do that. Put all the pieces on. Ask Father God to secure it on you in place, and then start your day. To me, that's it's a big thing. Um, Other things to do very easily, top of the list is don't open any portals. Don't be doing the, trying to scry for information. Please don't try to, do the EVP sessions. Please don't do, ghost box and stuff like that. All that stuff is telling something out there that you are willing to talk to it. And the problem is you don't know what that is. They can masquerade to be anything they think that a nice little kid that needs help. That's such a big ploy for demons because they know people are going to automatically, their heart goes out to a child, and you're going to be more apt to, oh, I've got to help this, I've got to, I have had people that have literally, some of the people I've helped have literally gone out. It started in that vein, that they thought that they had a child ghost in their house. They went out and bought a bunch of crayons and color books for them. They brought all this stuff to give to them. Then they made them Facebook pages as well. um all of this stuff, and then they're attacked. And you don't know that when you open those portals, usually it's on the lowest level. The lowest things, which the lowest vibration, are demons, and they're the first things that are going to come through usually. Every once in a while you may get something else, but you don't know. Most people have no idea who it is they're talking to. They say, oh, well, it answered all the questions that, my relative would know. They were there to watch them. They know all about your relatives. They know what you want to hear from them. So it's, you know, just protect yourself. Don't put yourself open to receiving things that you have no idea what they really are until it's too late. And then you got to come looking for one of us.
Uh, I have to have you back.
Anytime.
I'll call you after the show after you chew me out for what I said to make you
Not going
mad
to
at
chew
me.
you out.
Then I'm going to throw some dates at you because I got to get you back. An hour's not long enough with you, and I didn't ask one question off of this list. That's why people send me in questions because I do that every week. First of all, I don't do the chat room. I'm not that
Yeah.
good. I can't talk to you and do the chat room. I'm not that good. I don't know what I'm doing. Two, people send me these questions and I still don't do it. So I'm gonna have you back. Um, I would like you, before I have to say goodbye to you, I would like you to give a shout out to all of the wonderfully beautiful religious organizations you belong to, your church, and the Exorcist organization you belong to. Give them a shout out real quick so everybody knows how to reach you.
Okay, well, actually, right now I've got a new website that's going up. It's not finished yet, but it will be the Sword of Saint Michael .com and .org, and those are being worked on right now. So check back, and you'll be able to find it there. But if you need any help or anything, you can always look me up on Facebook, Bishop Rita Stragala. Also, I am the chief exorcist for the Celtic Cross Communion International, Old Catholic Church, Sacred Order of Exorcists. And shout out to my archbishops, Benny, and I'll have to get Nicholas in there. I'll never hear the end of it. So,
One of
but I
them
love
was
y'all.
sick. How is that bishop doing?
I'm sorry.
One of your bishops was sick. How is he doing?
Oh, he's doing good. He's
Okay.
doing better. Doing better. Thank you. Yep, he's doing better. So
Thanksgiving's coming up this Thursday.
yes,
I'm taking Friday off. I won't have a Friday show. I'm gonna take a long weekend with the wife, and then I'll be back next Monday. But um, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm just me and mom. I'm cooking as usual. I just cook and I'm a homebody. Um, so it'll just be quiet. It'll be the two of us. But I mean, it'll be nice. It's.
In the next couple of minutes, tell me make me jealous and tell me what you're cooking because I've been on Nutrisystem for over a year, and the wife will probably do some cooking on Thursday, but it's just her and I.
Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, with me and mom, I'm not going to make a huge spread. I mean, that's a waste of food and that. I'm not going to do that. But I make the turkey and your potatoes and gravy and the green bean casserole and whatever else. I got to find out what I'm going to make for dessert yet. I'm not sure yet. I probably should already have it, but
I probably won't like I said, my wife's big on Thanksgiving, but it's just the two of us. She may
yeah.
get together with her daughters and go somewhere. I'm not sure. But my birthday was last Friday, and she surprised me and came home with a cheesecake.
I
I thought I
didn't
was.
know that, Sean.
That's okay. I thought I was going
Oh,
to
I'm
end up
so
in the ER that
thankful.
night because I looked at my favorite pizza place, which I hadn't seen in a year. And there was this. I don't eat meat on Fridays all year round. People say this is for Lent, but all year round I don't eat meat
Yeah.
on Fridays because
Mm.
I'm giving a shout out to my mom. May she rest in peace. But I'm looking at this large vegetarian pizza from my favorite pizza place. I'm looking at this spinach calzone. I mean, she went all out. I'm looking at this cheesecake. I'm like, well, honey, uh, don't be near me because I can't guarantee you your safety being near me while I'm eating this. But keep the phone close because I'll probably be in the ER later tonight. I survived, so that may carry over to Thursday, and I may not get like the big Thanksgiving dinner, especially because it's just the two of us. But she may, sometimes she just picks up the phone and orders a couple of to-go Thanksgiving dinners, like at Marie Callender's or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and we'll bring it home for us. But Rita, uh, I am going to call you after the show. I want you to tell me what I did to make you mad at me. My heart's hurting over that, but I love you so much. I can't. I'm just so proud of you, and you're such a bright light in such a dark world, and you're just such a cool person. I need to get you back. Reach out to me. You know me. We talk all the time. We send
Yeah.
text messages back and forth and private messages all the time. But you ever want to just pick up the phone and call me? This is what I do. I got my show 2 days a week, part-time veterinary technician job in the middle of the week, and then I'm just in at home in seminary studies, and I'm a homebody now. So anytime you need me, just reach out. And thank you so much for hanging out for an hour tonight. And I hope you have
My
a
pleasure.
wonderful remainder to your Monday evening and a wonderful Thanksgiving. And give your mom a big hug and a kiss for me.
I will.
And I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
I love you. I'll see you later.
Love you too.
Bye bye. Good night.
Bye bye.
And I wish each and every one of you a very happy Thanksgiving. No show this coming Friday. I'm taking a long weekend. My producer Zach may play a best of, not sure, but he's more than welcome to take the weekend off too. But I will be back 1 week from tonight, the 28th of November, last Monday of the month. You know what that is? Happy Medium Monday. So the one and only Happy Medium herself, live from Cape Cod, Susan Ahern will be here giving free live on air psychic readings all night. So get your questions ready. You log on to the show live, you put your questions for Susan in the chat room. That's one night I back off and I let Susan do the chat room because she's essentially my co host and she will give you your psychic readings next Monday night, the 28th. Okay, communitypayitforward.us. Communitypayitforward.us. Go there. Find something to donate to. It's a great great place to go and find people that are in need. If you want to know more about my church, go to usocc.org. usocc.org. Also, usocc.org has, and Bishop James Long has, night prayer every weeknight live on Spreaker. And that's at 7 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. You can get the link on bishopjameslong.com. The link at the bottom of the homepage take you right to Spreaker for the night prayer. Bishop James Long also has Bible study every Wednesday and Sunday afternoons at 5 p.m. Pacific. Again, you can get the link for that on bishopjameslong.com. And the Bible study is really, really cool. For all of you that need a little more God in your life and who couldn't use a little more God in their life. Thank you to Zach and Adrian Clayton for co producing my show. I couldn't do it without them. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Skeleton Key Network. Thank you to PACT, little p, capital ACT, Podcasting All Coming Together channel for all of these networks simulcasting my show. God bless you all. And you are all on the prayer list. And I hope everybody just, I can't stress enough how much I really hope and pray that everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bad joke time. I'm going to pull a bad joke that one of you sent in out of my haunted carnival barker hat. My poor attempt to put a smile on everybody's face before I say goodnight. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all. Peace.